Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm your host, Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, Christopher G. Mohr, and myself will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight, we are reviewing You're Killing Me! You're killing me! Yes, I'm not going anywhere with that, but nobody's going to pick that ball up. All right. Let me introduce you to my crew. Starting off with the one and only Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
I was doing pretty good.
You're doing pretty good. I love it.
Until your intro. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Oh, wow. I like your shirt, by the way. All the little monsters.
Yeah, it's all the little...
Then Iowa State. There you go.
Oh yeah, and that's
Universe of Monsters.
What I had. Yes.
Also joining us is award-winning filmmaker Christopher G. Mohr. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Just looking at incriminating videos on my phone. But other than that,
where else would you keep incriminating?
I know. For someone to look at
that. In the cloud.
Because when you kill somebody, that's what you do. You video it.
You videotape it and you keep it.
And you save it.
You're killing me, guys. All right. There. Work the second time. All right. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to review You're Killing Me. We're going to
nothing to do with the movie.
Nothing at all. We're going to start off giving our first impressions. Those first impressions will be spoiler free, and then we'll dive into a discussion about the film, and we'll get into a spoiler or two. This film kind of has them in spades. And then we'll wrap things up with our score of 1 to 5 and our favorite scene. So this is going to be fun. So we hope you enjoy not only this review, but many others that we have on the site. And if you do, please hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend buttons. They're free and easy to do. And each click will help us find more horror fans just like you. Let's take a look at the card and get things going. Kaboom. You're Killing Me from it's not from Epic Pictures. I don't know why I have that in there, but there you go. Available in theaters and on digital on April 7th, 2023. The synopsis follows Eden, who goes to a coveted heaven and hell party, hoping to get a letter of recommendation to elite university from wealthy parents of her classmate. But the party quickly turns into a fight for her life. Directed by Beth, Hanna, and Jerren Lauder. Written by Walter Hare and Brad Monticello. Or is that Cello? It could be
Monticello.
Thank you. There's an R in there. Yes, thank you. And Hesh is in the cast along with Dermot Mulroney. Yes. McKaylee Miller, Bryce Anthony Heller, Will Dowsner. Yes, thank you, sir. Kiara Milliner and Morgana Van Peebles. One of you knows something.
Of the Van Peebles. All
right, let's start off and find out what our first impressions are. Jeff, sir, you are up first.
This is kind of a fun movie. I enjoyed where this went. I thought the acting was really good. There's people that are like alternately seem kind of likable and not so likable, and they're believable at it. I don't know what else to say without giving spoilers other than, she's McKaylee Miller, Eden, is wanting to get into this prestigious college and thinks she has to get the approval of Dermot Mulroney's character, who is the father of Schroeder. I love the name. Half the time, I don't know about you guys, but the thing that I had like automatic subtitles on it, and it kept calling him Shorter.
No.
Anyway, so I enjoyed it, and we get some good violence, some good pounding out the, how is this going to end? Now, there's a couple of things in here that are pet peeves of mine where I don't want to give them away yet, but they really piss me off. But I'm I'm able to like overlook that, I guess, because I feel like it's just my own personal quirk that a couple of these little things drove me nuts. So anyway, I had fun with it, and I liked where it went and how it ended up.
There you go. Christopher G. Morser, what was your first impression of You're Killing Me?
This film killed me.
Oh no.
Not another one.
with the stupid decisions of the characters. I mean, the main character puts her own life and her own family in harm because of her selfish decisions that don't make a lot of sense. And then even the logic of what they do throughout, and then even how it plays out, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like nobody really cares about anything. And then there's other things that just like feels like, oh, this would be kind of cool to throw this in a script, and then they try to be all artsy with the, like 1 minute there's like a party scene that shot like a bad commercial, like MTV commercial out of the blue. And there's scenes where they try to be all kind of like artsy with like having people looking into the camera, like in the very beginning and the ending. That didn't work for me. A lot of times you use that for certain types of scenes for certain reasons, but I don't think they understand how you normally use that in a film. So as a filmmaker, there's parts that annoyed me, how the characters kind of annoy me. I mean, I thought the acting was good. And I didn't even know anything about this film coming into it. So when we have like Anne Hesh, rest in peace, I think this is probably her last role, probably. And Dominic Mulrooney, when he showed up, I was like, what? Where did they come from? Yeah. They must have been some day players.
They were a little more.
They had enough money for them to come in a day or two. I mean, you know, to me, you could see the little twist coming a mile away. But it was like, and then they're just the logic of how they get out of certain situations don't make a lot of sense. They're just this thing has so many plot holes and things that don't make a lot of sense. This movie was more of an annoyance than anything else, and I didn't really, I know they didn't feel like, you know, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain the issues I have with this, but you know, I mean, it was I think the whole little, without giving anything away, the kind of a little twist thing was kind of interesting, and I think it made me kind of sad to see, because we haven't seen a lot of Anne Hesh in like movies, and now we won't be able to see her anymore. And I think it would have been nice to sort of see more roles like that for her. But yeah, I mean, it was okay.
It was okay. It was okay. That's honest. That's honest. I'm a little more in Jeff's camp this time around. I had a good time with this. It's a flawed film, but it's interesting. I mean, thankfully I liked our two main lead female characters quite a bit, and the lead bad guy I thought was a pretty good adversary. You know, the spoiled rich kid type, and I enjoyed. I don't know. I enjoyed the back and forth and the resourcefulness of our characters and trying to survive. And there is some plot armor, you know, especially like with the dad and stuff, or dads, maybe all the dads involved. There are more than one dad involved. But yeah. So I guess in the end, I came out enjoying it more than I didn't enjoy it. That sounded kind of like a left-handed compliment, but I mean it the way it sounded. There are things that annoy me, but the things that I found worthwhile outweighed those. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
sense.
Just back. All right. So let's get into those elements. Who wants to start? Jeff, you kind of led us on with. There are things in here that rubbed you the wrong way.
Well, the things that rub me the wrong way are the fighting for the phone charger, and then not quite getting it. I'm like, I don't know. When you're in situations like that, and I realize not everybody would act that way, but it's like you do it and you do it fast. You don't stand there, like, you know, it's just like you're waiting until it becomes a tug of war. And then the other one was dropping the phone. Like, I knew fucking A, she was going to drop the phone. It just drove me nuts. You know, she fought to get that phone and then lost it. So I think the dilemma, though, Christopher sort of said he thought she was being selfish, but I thought that's the dilemma for everybody that runs up against choices that puts their principles and ethics at risk versus their own or their family's well-being. And most people make the for my family's well-being choice. And that's why so many people get away with so much crap. You know, everything from
small spoilers ahead, we should say. Yeah.
What's that?
I would say small spoilers ahead.
So anyway, so that's where I thought it was, and I was glad she was sticking up for it.
I like that element
I'm
too.
trying to kill a gnat.
There you go. Anyway. I like that element too, and I liked that the other two involved were leaning toward taking the offer that they couldn't refuse, right? But yet still hesitant. And then the father said it's up to you, it's your choice. And I know I like that element of it. I knew it wasn't going to work out for them either way. So
well, yeah. Well, I mean, you got to know it, but that part didn't bother me. There's other parts. It's like she's so. I mean, to me, it didn't really make sense. How is she going to influence this kid, who already looks like he's a horrible human being? How is she going to influence him to get taught to his dad? The whole scenario. And then like, oh yeah, why don't you go drunk? Let me go put you in this house with all these possible people who can probably rape you or whatever while you're sitting in that room. I mean, it's like, that's not a good friend. That's a horrible, it's a horrible friend. It's irresponsible.
Yeah.
And things like that just annoyed me. It's like, you know, and then, the phone, the cord, and like that stuff isn't convenient, but yeah, they can conveniently escape from a car when they have a paralyzed medication in their bodies. Things like that.
That was pretty convenient. We had a blackout scene in their
flat armor.
Yeah. Things like that. It was like, oh, they can't hold. They have like, they got, KY jelly on their hands and not hold on to a phone, but they can escape a car in water. So things like that just annoyed me.
Yeah, I literally thought that that was going to turn into an occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, the old Twilight Zone French film thing, where the guy at the beginning of the movie, the guy's being hung during the Civil War, and then the whole rest of the show is the rope breaks, he takes off running down the creek, and he's hiding from everybody and everything, and then that's just all like a fantasy, and then at the end of the movie it's the jerk of the rope and he dies. So I thought sure as shit they're up, all of a sudden they're magically up in the thing, they're going to run around and do a bunch of shit, and then it's going to go to them dying in the car underwater.
No, that would have been
that's what I thought was going to happen, but it wasn't what I wanted to happen, and that isn't what happened. So sorry for the diversion there, guys, but that's what that reminded me of. Like this was I can't get out of this situation, but there they are, out of it, and we don't care if we tell you how that happened.
I liked when the parents came home unexpectedly, and and the how it felt like it was both escalating and diffusing the problem at the same time, and you realize that, okay, this is a rich spoiled kid and there's a reason for that, and this is going to expose that, and it does. There's also a nice little revenge element once that the water scene that we're talking about, that was a lot of fun, a little preposterous. There was one element of it that's like, no, she's dead, but that's all right. There's a fight between our hero and Anne Heche's character, the mom, that I really enjoyed. I thought that, and I was like, oh yes,
she was really good in this. Yeah.
It's Chekhov's hairdryer. Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's Chekhov can be used several ways throughout this movie. Chekhov's what axe Chekhov's military,
Chekhov's
old
gun,
the
gun,
World
yeah.
War One rifle.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's a lot of
Chekhovs that you can check off your list in this movie.
But it worked. I thought it, but it worked. It worked. Well, it did for me anyway.
Well, yeah, but still, I don't know. And then it just maybe felt like Delmont Mulroney, they only had him for a very limited time. We're just gonna have him sitting in a chair.
Yeah,
he's very limited in what he does in this film.
I mean, I thought they played it, at least for me, maybe I'm just gullible, but when the parents first showed up, I was looking for them to be the nasty manipulators that I expected them to be, but it was on the edge. You couldn't tell for sure for a while, right?
I know, for me, I just knew it right away. There's something off.
Well,
how Anne Hatch was acting, there's like, yeah, this is
obviously
there's no hiding her.
She was the one in charge, and
she wore the pants on the family, right?
Well, right, and she revealed that she came from. What did she say? I was one of those whitelisted people that couldn't get into the university because I was come from the wrong side of the tracks, and so like that's what drove her. She got there. She obviously driving her husband to be in politics and making sure. So anyway, yeah, but Daddy was very compliant. I don't know. Out of the whole thing, the most. Yeah, out of the.
Oh, I think Jeff is frozen up again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm okay with how she sort of went about dispatching people at the end. It didn't really make. I mean, I don't know. It's definitely not going to help her get to college anymore.
No, I don't think that was an issue at this point. Going to college was not the point. And, I will say that the one girl that fell off the ladder, her little story arc from there on in was probably the more horrifying element.
Well, it was more horrifying, and you also have the similar thing where, in the same way that the main girl sort of like caused issue, was being irresponsible for her friend with her friend. The spoiled guy was irresponsible with her because you could sort of see that he did care about her, but he's like, don't leave me. It's like, so yeah, I don't know. There's and I can't understand the situations, especially when it comes to, I'm scared of getting in trouble. We need to fix this. My parents will fix this type situation. The classism type stuff. When having the people not having any money, people having money where they can sweep everything under the rug or sweep everything into the river. Yeah. So there are a lot of those elements, but I don't know. It felt. Yeah, and it also kind of felt like this definitely felt like one of those. It felt like very 90s, in that like I felt like all the kids were in their 20s and not real.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the lead actor was like 26 or 27.
Yeah, the main actress was like 25 or 26. And she had that kind of smoker's voice, which I don't know.
I just assume I just assume that anymore. I'm impressed when they don't do that.
Yeah, but I mean. But I will say I feel like they all. Here's the thing: I felt all the actors did a great job in acting their performances. I just felt like the story wise, a lot of stuff didn't click right. And I did like the friendship between the two girls, especially when she gets all drunk, because I've seen people like that, act like that. But I don't know. The way everything played out was kind of ridiculous.
Well, it was what they were aiming for. I mean,
I guess so, but it wasn't in a way that it was just
heightened reality, right?
Well, it was stupid reality for me.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's give our score 1 to 5 and our favorite scene. Jeff, I'll let you go first. And we lost you there for a bit, so if you have anything else to add, please do now.
No, I think I got to say what I had to say. I'm going to go, I'm going to go 3.5 on this too.
Oh,
it
nice. Definitely
got its flaws, but it's, I had fun with it and I enjoyed the shit out of where it went. I had fun with the revenge. So take that. Favorite scene. Boy,
Is it hard to pick, or is there so many?
Well, I guess I'll go with the scene at the end with between Eden, Zara, and Schroeder towards the end.
In the driveway? The driveway?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Where they throw the gun down.
Yep. And you get the line of the movie. The title of the movie.
Yes,
has the line.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, but I still wouldn't throw a loaded gun down for somebody to possibly pick up, even if they don't pick it up.
Well, the right person picked it up. Let's just say that. All right.
Initially, yeah, but then they threw it down. Let's see.
He's debating.
I'll give this a 2.75.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that annoy me. But anyway, I'm not going to go on further about this film. I'll say my favorite scene would have to be the. I kind of enjoy the Anne Hesh fight in the bathroom.
Oh my God! Yes, absolutely.
I don't know, just the way she just takes her shoes off. She's like, that was going for it. Yeah, and I don't know. I just love the menace of it. And there's almost like where she's holding her. It's almost like she's going to kiss her for a second there. I was like, what are you doing? And
she was really good in this, and her, anyway.
I think if anything, this just made me kind of sad because I feel like, wow, this. She could where were all these type of roles for her? She definitely plays a good baddie, and I think that's the one thing I came away from this film thinking is like, man, it's kind of sad that she's no longer here to sort of play other kind of juicy roles because she was so great in playing this sort of manipulative, evil role. But yeah, when she's fighting, she's like, she's definitely going for it.
When she rises up out of the bathtub, that was a great shot.
Yeah. But yeah, something about that. I kind of enjoyed it. It's kind of like I want to say Dynasty, like when the women are fighting on Dynasty. It felt like one of those moments.
Just had blood, lots of blood.
Yeah.
And that's
they played it. They played it good too. The different eye glances.
Yeah. But I like that you. I don't know if you guys noticed it. I'm sure you did that. She picked up that mirror that got broken earlier. That that looks expensive. Remember that? And you could see the girl's reflection in the broken glass.
Yeah. I thought that was good. Like where it's almost like maybe it's like, oh God, is it the ghost of her haunting me?
Yeah, it's really good. That scene was really well directed. Really well directed. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give this 3.25. 3.25. I'm actually raising my score up just a bit. And I also want to say just real quick, I screwed up the distribution company earlier, and it's Quiver Distribution. So
Quiver,
this is coming from Quiver.
So
just for that. And my favorite scene, it was going to be that fight scene because that fight scene was awesome. But the thing that surprised me, I'm going to actually mention two scenes just because I can. One is when the girl falls off the ladder, and we already know that she has like a the bad girl, right? The one that's part of the trio, and Kendra, and you know that she has a scholarship or something, so she doesn't want to risk it, but then she falls off, and obviously she's all messed up. But then the whole knife bit because the knife went in her back, and that was pain. I felt the pain. They did a really good job with that. But the scene that surprised me the most is when the other fellow, the other of the trio, gets it. And what is his name? Gooch. Yeah, Gooch. Gooch. I mean, it makes entirely 100 sense inside the script. I don't think that wasn't plot armor or plot hole. That I could see that's exactly what this family would do. But I was shocked by it. I was shocked that that's what they did. So,
by the way, that's the actress is Mario Van Peebles' daughter.
Yeah, I looked it up too. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
which I didn't even know that.
Play Kendra. Yeah.
Yeah, Morgana.
Continuing on the tradition in the family, from Melvin Van Peebles to Mario Van Peebles,
and Morgana. What a great name too, Morgana.
Keep the M's in the family.
They do. Oh, they do.
And she was good. She was good. Matter of fact, I would say the entire cast is good. The father is cool too. Because you get the idea that he cares, but he wants wants the daughter to have fun, with the, because it starts with the driving up, but he really wants to drive her up to the front door, but they don't want her to. So he's kind of, you feel him fighting that and letting her go and stuff. And
I thought the scene where she's on the floor in the bathroom was well done. A really great scene between her and the asshole kid.
Oh,
she's like, help me. Why can't you help me? Don't leave me here. And he's trying to give her pills and she doesn't want it. I love the back and forth in that. I mean, so there are moments in this that I think will work for me.
Well, it like I said, it's out on VOD, so check it out. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. And what you think of this revenge film and our multiple day players. They're day players, but I think it was a weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a lot more dialogue than just a day player would have.
They did, but if you count all the scenes and the rooms they're in, it's very limited. So you can easily see how they could do that in a short period of time. As a filmmaker, I was like, we need to have Dylan Mulroney in this one room, and then we need to have another room where he's sitting in a chair. Now you're done.
And out in the woods.
And then having dinner or whatever it was, they were sitting around the table.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
So, all right, Jeff, Christopher, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
You're killing me, Doc.
You're killing me with that quality strike. All right, let's get out of here. Let's say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.